Be strong.
Let go of fear, you're holding the fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know what I'm in for.
It was home to one of the wildest races of the season just a couple months ago in season number 4 of TI Racing, and we're back at it again. It's race number 2 on the schedule this season, and we're talking about, of course, the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This track in Lexington, Ohio, one of the more historic tracks and one of the bigger road courses when it comes to prestige-wise on the IndyCar Tour, and that is where we are tonight, of course, for race number 2 of this TI Racing season presented by LD Concepts, as we welcome you in to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, the Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix at Mid-Ohio. I am the captain, Chris Scalaz. Gary Gonzo once again joins me tonight, doing a little bit of double duty tonight. He's also going to be waving the honorary green flag up in the box and coming out of the keyhole tonight. So, Gary, a prestiged honor for you. Get to be the flag man. And, of course, you know the rule number 1 of being the flag man.
It's like the rule 1 of Fight Club, isn't it?
Well, we can talk about you dropping the flag, but don't do it. But
no, we never allow the flag to hit the ground. That's for sure.
Never. But 77 degrees, partly cloudy, 2-mile-an-hour winds, 107 degrees track temp. So kind of warm out there on the surface this evening of this 2.21-mile road course. But let's talk a little bit, Gary, about this circuit and about this series. They came off of a race at Sebring last week that was wild. And tonight it's more wildness here on this racetrack that has produced a lot of great racing and a lot of great finishes.
It is no coincidence whatsoever that this is on the schedule again for this season. Last season's race was alone the reason why this is on the schedule again.
Right.
It was so full of drama. It had some of those moments that literally decide the championship for some and ruled the championship out for others. It has a side of the race control having to make some decisions and everything. Even had probably the side of one of the nicest leader maneuvers, allowing someone to get back on the lead lap by requesting it. So are we going to see the same type of things this year? No, because I think we're dealing with a whole different type of folk here. But I still think I'm looking at the lineup, and it's unbelievable the number of cars that we have and driver combinations that we have here. It is going to be a jam-packed track, and if you're not up front and you're in the back of the mid-pack, it's going to be a long race for you guys. So I can only stress that the winner of the day will be Patience or Isaac Morris. Either one of those two will be your winner of the day.
We're learning actually some kind of breaking news coming in from the TI Racing group tonight. Isaac actually was running in a race earlier today on R-Factor, which is another simulator system much like iRacing. Actually hurt his wrist apparently in that race, so he's going to be running kind of one-handed, so to say, tonight. So he's running pretty good, P2 right now, but going to be not 100%, we'll say.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet that not 100% for Isaac is more than enough to to make him up at the front, as we're obviously seeing by the times here. So he's P2 on the board. But long race and these direct drive steering wheels, yeah, if you got your hand on the wrong spot and you catch the force feedback at the wrong time, yeah, it'll snap your wrist or give you a nice little sprain for sure.
So we got the driver points. Let's take a look at that real quick because we got a special interview we're going to do here in about a minute or so. Let's take a look at the driver points. You'll see them on the screen here, and I think you're going to get good visual here. I know this was put together by Isaac Morris, but Morris does lead by 13 over Cohen Evans, who is he here? I don't even see Cohen here tonight, as a matter of fact. Daniel McDonald, who's on the pole right now, Jessica Sabin, and Carlos Gomez Dotero, sorry. Going to be in the top 5 right now after just this one race, so obviously very early in the season there. Taking a look at the TI, well, we'll call it the TI point standings, but TI Racing's up top right now over the Kamagoye esports team. Addict Racing.
Say it with more enthusiasm than that.
Kamagoye?
There you go.
There you go. I think I had that for dinner last night. Anyways, Addict Racing 3rd, LMCgear.com 4th, GTSRL Indy in the 5th position. Now, there is one person that is a part of the of course, I just lost it in my head what team she's a part of. But anyways, she's out here running laps right now and is qualified actually in the top 15. She's right outside the top 10 in the 11th position tonight. And let's go grab her because, as usual, the slacking producer of ours who usually hangs out beside us and gets me the drivers sends her up my way. And you know what? Is she? Oh, there she is. She's down actually in your channel right now, hanging out as we bring her up here to join us tonight. Jessica Sabin, you got a copy?
Yep, here loud and clear, guys.
All right, doing good. So some little birdie told me that this is your favorite track to race at.
How do people find this out? Well, it's a track. It's a track I've never really driven before, so it took me a moment to get up to speed with it, but I think I'm going to like it.
Oh, well, that's good news. But last week you had a great run, and you come back here tonight looking to get another back-to-back top 5 finish when it's all over with. But let's talk about the fact that one thing that's really cool about this series this year is we have 3 full-time female drivers on the circuit, you being one of them. How cool is that to see out here?
Yeah, it's great. You know, a lot of the time I've been racing, it's kind of been, you look through names and you're like, oh, it's just a bunch of guys. But it's good to see, you know, inclusion and diversity of the drivers. It's good to see people like me.
And one thing about iRacing is you see, as you mentioned, the diversity. You know, we end up running in races with people from Australia or people from England, people from everywhere, from Brazil, stuff like that. Obviously, you being from over in the United Kingdom area, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, correct.
Over in the United Kingdom, and then adding the fact that you know you are one of 3 females here. I mean, that is something I think you see, but it's not as much, at least, that we can see over here, maybe on the American side around this time at night and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think lockdown and the whole world events have probably played a part in me being here. Obviously, at the moment, I have a lot more free time than I used to have.
Don't we all?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's probably why. But you know, I think motorsport is broadcasted to a world, and I thought it for a while. It was just Formula One or bust, but you know, I found IndyCar, and it's a great car to drive, even on this service here. So that's what's got me interested in running with the Americans and everyone from over the world.
How cool is it to see drivers, you know, talking about the F1 transition? You might be able to relate to this being over the seas there in the United Kingdom. When you see drivers like Marcus Ericsson off the top of my head, when you see Takuma Sato, drivers that were Formula One drivers in the last 10 to 15 years, coming over to the IndyCar series and running over here. Alexander Rossi, guys like that. What's the reaction over there? Does that make this IndyCar league even bigger now, even more watchable over there?
Yeah, definitely. I think people have two minds of it. There'll be people that will go like, "Oh, they're not F1 material and IndyCar's their level." But I don't know. Personally, for me, I think IndyCar's probably harder. From I've maybe got 5 years of experience of watching it, but I'm told new things every year, and it's like, damn, it sounds a lot more intense than F1 because there's tires, fuel strategy, and I think the main thing from like a driver's point of view is the cars and the power steering. That must be killer for someone who's driven in Europe all their life and had power steering to go to America, and it's like, whoa, my arms hurt a tad now.
And not to mention, with Formula One, you do have the safety car periods. With IndyCar, you actually have cautions where the pit road's open, and then everybody comes in at one time. Where in F1, it's just caution. The safety cars out there, you just come to pit road, get out. It's almost like you're slowing down, but still pitting, and just kind of its own type of thing. But Jessica, we got about 40 seconds left. We wish you nothing but the best. I know you're going to do well tonight. Just keep it on the asphalt. That's all you got to do. Best of luck, and thanks for your time.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Absolutely. You too.
Hopefully we'll see you hereafter, maybe.
Yes, we like that idea. We like that idea. Jessica.
Awesome. See you in a bit, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jessica Sabin. We'll move her back to the channel. She was she gone. Yeah, that was a really cool perspective. She brought that up, and I'm like, I got to ask that question because, somebody over across the pond, they get to see all the F1. Because they get, obviously the channel and stuff there. And IndyCar, they've raced over there. But when you look at the drivers, as I mentioned, Marcus Ericsson, the first guy that came off top of my head, Sato, Rossi. I had not Carlos Perez, but I'm trying to think of other F1 drivers off the top of my head here.
I'm going to go back to Mansell.
Fernando Alonso, Nigel Mansell. Yeah.
Emerson Fittipaldi. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, even Danny Sullivan and Eddie Cheever did Formula One for a while. So this is a long time thing where they've been kind of coming over. But as she kind of mentioned, it's more of a thing now because a lot of these careers are going a lot longer. And they'll want to. There's a certain shelf life you have as a Formula One driver, but you still want to continue because you still feel you're competitive. And IndyCar is a perfect platform for that.
But I also see, though, at the same time, it's almost like those drivers who you could say aren't making it. I look at it more as some of these drivers didn't even get a chance to make it in F1 are coming over to IndyCar, and they're almost putting this thing up on a platform to say, you know what, I might not make it, and I'm using air quotes right now in F1, but we can push this IndyCar series to be just as popular as that series is.
And yeah, and I even think for a while back in the mid '90s when Nigel Mansell came over here and we sent Michael Andretti over there, that IndyCar was every bit as popular as F1 at the time. I think the split, like most things, hurt IndyCar,
right.
and F1 kind of took a increase in popularity there as well as NASCAR did. But I see that eventually coming back. What I don't want IndyCar to lose fact of and focus of is still maintaining the ovals. That's the one thing that truly makes us unique. I mean, we could run on natural road courses and street courses all day long, just like Formula One. But the one thing that makes us really, really unique is running on those ovals.
And the ovals, I think you got to be careful which ones you pick because you don't want another Las Vegas situation where you have, unfortunately, the accident with Dan Weldon. You got, Texas is a traditional track, but you still think of the accident with Kenny Breck, 15 years ago. I mean, that you get some of these tracks that, and of course, let's back up a step there. The kart race at Texas, that didn't even happen. Because you got drivers blacking out in the middle of practice and stuff because the G's were too big. It's like they almost got to be careful with what ovals they pick and stuff. And not to mention what promoters want to put races on. I mean, you think of Michael Andretti; he was the promoter behind Milwaukee Mile for a couple years. And then so you got Texas Motor Speedway. Obviously, that's the traditional track. You look at Iowa; that's not even on the schedule this season. And how long has IndyCar been there? I think every year from the start, almost. So, I mean, Pocono just got back to that, and that was a track that was built back in the 60s for IndyCar racing.
IndyCar, yes.
So, I mean, yeah, that's going to be a big factor, I think, in this. And let's face it, F1 will never be on an oval, though they did way back in the day. They'll never be on an oval in this generation, period.
Right, and there's no need for them to be.
No. All right, let's go to the starting lineup here as qualifying is over, and who cares how many broken wrists he has or whatever's actually wrong with him. I know he's got a wrist injury, but, yep, Isaac Morris is on the pole for the race this evening as my grid is, all nuts tonight here. But Isaac starting on the pole with a 107.039. He'll start next to teammate Daniel McDonald there in the 73 car. Lester's going to start third next to Carlos Dotero in the 48 car. AJ Stravato, the Floridian, will start next to New England's William Ashworth, one of Gary's newest companions there as part of the, what was it, Tamagotchi team or whatever it's called. Vilda Wallen will start next to... For those who don't remember the Tamagotchis, sorry, you'll have to go look those up back in the 90s. Anyways, Philip Lee will start... Was it Kamaguchi? I can't remember, actually, out of seriousness.
Kamagoye.
Thank you, Kamagoye. I don't have it in front of me right now. So, Philip Lee will start 8th. Luke Daniels, part of the Extreme team, will start there 9th alongside Ido Vila. Jessica Saban, we mentioned, going to start in the 11th position. Good start for her alongside Danny Brennan, another Kamagoye team member there in the 12th position. So good start there for some of the guys. You're going to see the grid go through, but we're not going to get the start here. We're doing it just like last year. They are going to start over out of the keyhole, and actually we're going to send our race buddy to the booth as he gets ready to, wave the green flag here in just a second over this field of cars. I think the grid just disappeared on me. But anyways, that's most of your starting lineup that you just saw over there on the screen. So they're taking the green flag right now officially, but the race will not start until they come out of the keyhole section, which is turn 2. This here is turn 1, and then they will go down the long straight here, down to the keyhole, and then take the green over in the turn 3 section. So we appreciate everybody being a part of this broadcast tonight. This technically marks the 1-year anniversary of Captain TV coming over to TI Racing. It was this track 4 seasons ago that we made our first appearance on the TI circuit, and so we say cheers, 1 year, sorta, later, a couple weeks down the road, but we're going to say 1 year right now as they come over through the keyhole. 60 laps of racing. You're going to see likely a 2-stop strategy get to the green. They could go probably 25 to 28 laps or so on a tank of fuel, depending on how fuel saved, but you see most of the drivers on the alternate red set of tires, and we do have some cars towards the back starting on the primes. We'll let you know who those are in just a second. Right now, though, we're going to let Gary Godso wave the green flag here, and you're going to hear
steady, 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 green flag.
There it is. With all that enthusiasm, green flag is out. From Mid-Ohio, the race down to China Beach. Will everybody make it? Easy, fellas.
Oh, I hope so.
Everybody's made it so far.
I did drop the flag. Oh, he got it. He's got it 2 cars.
Oh, Luke Daniels right around. A big wreck over here. Vilda Whalen's involved. Andres Perez. And Luke Daniels also involved. So Luke having a big-time start to this race. Started up in the top 10, involved in this, and he's got the no-wing special going on right now, unfortunately for him.
Here comes Isaac. Oh! Donald had a little bit of a weave on. I don't know if that was planned or not.
I guess I should
probably
share with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Isaac had a shot to make that pass there, and he held up. So there might be some movement here to kind of separate and go and move away.
So you'll see down at the bottom of the screen that Luke Daniels on pit road, probably going to get a reset. So is Lee in the 18 car. He was also involved in that wreck. Let's see if we can, and Philip Lee actually jumped to pit road. So unfortunately, some damage for him. Let's see what happened back here at turn.
Side by side to China Beach.
Oh, let's go back to the lead, actually. Right on cue. I trying to mess that one up. We'll watch this fight for me here for a second. We'll jump back to an accident. Lee's still on pit road as he towed.
Yeah, race control saying no penalty on the turn 3 incident, rather. Just call it a racing incident.
And we'll look at the replay here, and we'll let the viewers be the judge here of this also as McDonald comes by. And it looks like we're starting to spread out just a little bit here. So let's go back here, and the wreck's already going to happen, so I'm actually going to rewind here, and let's see the incident here. It started with Vito Whalen And looks like, as I mentioned, the two other cars here. Where does it start? Coming down the hill out of the, turn 5 section here. Oh, it's some contact. The 18 into the 29, and Daniel's nowhere to go. Sure, there's going to be some unhappy drivers there, unfortunately.
I think that's 2 weekends in a row for Vilna. So, like, I've got a target on me.
Well, yeah, especially if she's been the victim. All right, so Luke Daniels has come back on pit road. He's still in the lead lap, but he is over, as you see on the track map, over in the keyhole right now, as everybody else is coming through the Thunder Valley section over here into the carousel, basically, section here, turn 11 and turn 12 of this 2-mile circuit. As you know, laps around here are going to fly by quickly. 3 laps on the board, Gary. I was talking 25 to 28 laps. Looks like the alternate tires start to fall off around lap 15 or so, it looks like. So, I mean, let's talk a little bit strategy-wise. What do you think here? It's obviously a 2-stop race. Let's be real there. As you see, Sam Fontaine up 7 spots already, past Dan Morera for the 11th spot.
Yeah, the kind of the report that I got from my team is they felt the Reds kind of sketch rather quickly, and they might want to go to black sooner rather than later. Oh, we're going to pass
Up past for the lead. Battle for the lead.
Coming into the China Beach area.
Number 1 rule, teammates, don't wreck each other.
That's right.
McDonald coming off that great finish last week at Sebring, looking to back it up here with a victory.
Actually, one of my drivers actually said that he felt sketch on the black and more secure on the reds, and he was talking about possibly maybe doing 3 stops and doing a really short stint on the blacks and then finishing up on the reds. So we'll see, as the track temperature is pretty high right now, so it might wear the reds out a lot sooner.
It's interesting to hear that, because when you look at the way the normal race goes, normal race is a 90-lapper. Of course, last season they ran 75 in both races because of the doubleheader. But normally it's a 90-lap, 200-mile race. And that race is usually a 2-stop race. Sometimes 3, depending on if you're Charlie Kimball or not. So to see only a 60-lap race being talked about, a 2 or 3 stopper, is very interesting. As we take a look at Saban, let's ride with her down the straightaway here. Running in the 8th position right now, some 7 seconds back, doing a great job. And we actually got a good answer out of her. She said she actually is enjoying this track now. As she gets loose.
She can change her status in Discord right now.
Her Discord name I can't say out loud. Let's just put it like that. When Chris told me yesterday, he's like, "Yeah, you're going to talk to Saban." I'm like, "Oh, this ought to be good."
Isaac is right there on the gearbox coming out of the carousel down the main straight here. He's close enough. I don't think he's going to make a move, though.
So 108's being, matter of fact, the 2 leaders just matched each other lap-wise. A lot of 108's, top 5, all in the 108's.
They did, yeah. Actually, Isaac went fast that lap. He went 108, 229. McDonald went 108, 221. A lot of that is made up of the draft. Right. You can't use the draft on this track.
Plus, if there's any, which Isaac and now Lester's on push to pass right now. Want to talk about drivers right now that are on the primes. Basically right now we've had all but 6 drivers start on, actually 2 of the drivers aren't racing, so 4 drivers started on the primes. Tim Miller back in the 15th position, Andres Perez, Isaac Lopez, Matthew Telder started on this, the alternates, and Dylan, was that Rizol, I believe that is?
Yeah, Rizol.
Started on the prime. So we'll have to watch those drivers later in this run, because, again, as I mentioned, lap 15, that could be where these tires say, bon voyage, I'm done for this set. So believe it or not here, we got 1 car slow coming out of the keyhole. It's Dylan. He spun out over here. I looked up and saw the 13 moving slow. It looks like Dylan spun over near the keyhole. No damage on that car, so he's going to be okay, and continues on as McDonald just ran an 08-13. So I think these alts are getting to their prime right now. No pun intended there. They're hitting that feel-good time.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a race strategy that Lawrence and McDonald are kind of really pushing each other to get out to the big lead.
Well, not
Whoa, wait a minute. I say that
Somebody
again.
just. Oh, never mind. Go
Coming
ahead.
through Thunder Valley, he got really wide and Isaac almost got a pass on him. Now they're into the S's.
This is such a technical area. You're barely on the throttle at all in this section of the track. I mean, it's like you're touching front, right back off, touching front, right back off. Over-under move here, maybe? Double apex corner of the carousel. And they continue on as the 48's off track. Dortero has gone off, I believe. He continues on, and somebody locks him up back there behind him. Thought I saw Dortero go off. He ran a 112, so something went wrong on that lap.
Actually, the leaders are going to start running into lap traffic.
Can you believe that right there, what Gary Godso just said, ladies and gentlemen? Lap traffic already in this race. It's like Bristol.
Wow. You can clearly see from at least the angle that I have from the blimp, but you can clearly, the lap traffic pulls over. That was real nice. That Isaac can get so much further into the corner of the braking than McDonald is right now. I'm not sure if that's just a braking style or, whoa, we almost got to the back into the Thunder Valley area. And I don't know if that's a setting of his brake settings or not, but yeah, Isaac is able to get way deeper into the corner than McDonald.
Watch this battle. Let's go back here to the 11th position. Fontaine and Vito Whalen. Vilda's driving angry probably right now.
And I don't blame him.
I don't know if Sam realizes this. He might want to get out of the way. One thing's, I don't want to make this, about the team I entered in here, but I will share this. I actually have a couple
side by side for the lead in the keyhole. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. McDonald going to go for the lead, or I should say Morris going for the lead. Not able to get it there as McDonald still holds on here. Push to pass being used by Isaac right now. Down the straightaway to China Beach. To the outside he goes. Remember last year we had 2 incidents here. He got him.
Long way around. Okay.
I think a little bit of teamwork there. I think McDonald said, all right, you got it. Your turn.
They got Destino in front of him, and that's another TI affiliated car. So I'm going to say that he's going to get out of the way rather easily for him.
So I was starting to say, I'm not trying to make something about.
Oh!
What happened?
That was close.
Oh, with the leaders, yeah, right?
Yeah. The lap traffic, yeah.
Let's take a look at another new driver on the series here. The big Grabowski, as I want to call him. Steve Grabowski, that dude. One of your new guys, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's. We pulled out the Black Cat Racing guys. Decided they're going to pull out a Delar drivers. Steve Grabowski is one of them. He raced in the Velocity Online Racing Formula 1 series, and kind of liked what I saw, so he made himself available over here. I said, hey, how about drive the Black Cat, because the guys at the league got Black Cat a really nice sponsor that we wanted to put on the track, so we got him and Will Ashworth, who also came over for the LMP race, and he's in the IndyCar race, or at least league race tonight, or at least with the TI. This is not his first league race. I actually raced with him in his first league race last week, and he almost won that race, but he's sitting here in Q4 right now, and I am rather impressed with the way he's running.
You see down at the bottom, Vilda Whalen did get past Fontaine as Gary was talking there, and also Telder making a pass from the 18th position on Isaac Lopez. That's the cool thing about this feature. I can kind of flash that up on the screen in case we don't get to that battle to show that pass actually happening. But you mentioned Grabowski, and you mentioned the Black Cat racing team. You got that, and you got, what's the cat's name? So if these two teams end up fighting each other, is this a cat fight then?
It would, it's Mimsy.
Mimsy. Hey, thank you.
Mimsy Motorsports, and that is a TI affiliated team, kind of their version of Toro Rosso, so to speak. And actually, that's named after Chris's cat. Chris has a black cat. Actually, I have a black cat. And when we were talking about doing an affiliated team with the truck series, I said, I was thinking about using the name Black Cat Racing because trying to use the reverse psychology of good luck with the Black Cat. Of course, when you own a Black Cat, you're supposed to have good luck because you're rewarding the Black Cat for choosing you as an owner. Right. So, so he goes, hey, let's call it Black Cat Racing. It's like, okay, so now we have two Black Cat squads, so to speak.
Jessica Saban making the pass on Austin Sarr for the 9th position. Jessica continuing to work her way up there through the field.
Yes, been very patient along with Danny Brennan there sitting in P7.
Isaac Morrison, 07.92. Now he's out there in that clean air. He's starting to light up the scoreboard as he usually does. I'm assuming that wrist is feeling pretty good right now. Best way to heal up a driver who's hurt? Have a good car.
Still early though.
Now, here's the thing though. I think the window is open right now to get tires. If you want to get off these alternate tires and get to the primes, this is the time to do it, because you're looking right now, you're at lap 12. You can go about 25 laps, as Lester's going to need a tinfoil hat here in a second. We're blinking a little bit. If he gets 25 laps, that gets you all the way to lap number 37, and you're able to go the rest of the way on fuel. So we're at that point right now where you can go and get yourself on the prime tires if you want to, if you don't feel good on these red alternate tires. But right now, they're still red pace, it looks like. Oh, back here. Oh, Ashworth with issues. Ashworth has destroyed the nose. Trying to see where this happened at. Looks like over. And one car spun right in front of there. I think that's a lap car. David Whimsy's who that is. Ashworth has got broken suspension also. I think he might be done. Your tires are not supposed to sit at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's watching this.
Well, you do got the reset. I forget that part.
Yeah, you do have the reset. He's got to make his way around.
See if we can see what happens.
Oh, that was.
Is that Whimsy there? Oh, yeah, and he just goes off. So Whimsy's trying to get back on track after wrecking, and unfortunate deal there.
Yeah,
that's one of those where, and I don't know if it's Whimsy or I don't know enough about David to say if he's a rookie or not or anything like that, but one of those situations where you got to kind of be aware on the track what's going on and kind of see who's there, and if you're not clear, don't pull up on the track. But you live and learn, unfortunately. It's a hard way. All right, let's go up here. Ida Vila has gone by Austin Sarr now for position. So Austin's starting to fall off on the alternate tires, I believe, here. Now, Austin did some learning about this young man's a college student. He's a college wrestler. If I ever have to let go of him off my team, I'm probably going to find somebody to do it for me. I'm going to be just straight honest. I don't mess with wrestlers.
Skill chair.
He'll no sell. Straight no sell. Straight Vince McMahon hitting Kane. Not happening. Double bird behind the back. Whoopsies.
And it looks like the incident between Winfrey and Ashworth is under review right now. That's kind of a questionable rejoin to the circuit, especially with the leaders coming up on you. Live and learn there, but yeah, I would not have done that necessarily in front of the leaders, but I'm not in the car.
Right, yeah, so I mean, we don't know the situations, and in real life, most tracks have track officials that are there to kind of help get you back on the track and stuff like that, and we don't have that kind of technology on iRacing. I mean, we do have people there, but they just stand there looking stupid the whole time, let's be honest. What do they really do? With deer in the headlights kind of look. A couple cars in the back pitting. Andres Perez had just pitted. He's staying on reds. Isaac Lopez pitting from the primes. And he is going to switch to the reds. So as I mentioned, the window is open here. For those who are going to try, I mean, I don't think they're going to do a three-stopper here, but maybe getting on, well, then again, they just ran 15 laps on the primes, and that's it. I think you might be seeing a three-stopper here. Why would you go primes only for 13 laps unless you think you can go 25 laps on alternates, which I don't think you can. We watch a battle here between Danny Brennan and Jessica Saban, teammates here, I believe. Similar cars, yep. Usually the similar painted cars are teammates, Chris. Hey, 15 viewers tonight. Appreciate everybody watching so far. I see Gamer Boy watching. I see Matt Telder, who's racing. He said hi earlier. And Chris Lewis, of course, striking back at Matt's comment. Telder right now down in the 16th position. Trying not to be DQ'd like he did last week. He heard from us all week. Trust me. We're actually working on right now a team joke to use if we ever get disqualified. We're trying to figure out what to do. But anyways, battle as Ashworth is working his way through. Goes past Grabowski for the 14th spot. So I think Williams driving a little angry right now. Last lap at 10:17. And some of these lap times starting to fall off. Seeing most people in the 09s. I hear you oohing and ahhing. That's why I'm like,
yeah, looking at turn 3 and we had Saban make the move on Brennan. So anytime you see the teammate cars, you're like, oh, give a look who looks through. They did.
Oh, we got a fun fact about Jessica Saban coming in from a viewer. Last time I had a viewer give me a fun fact, he ended up stuck with me. She used to be one of those weird people who enjoy LMP1s.
Yeah, and that's
Does that make me a weird person? I enjoy him too.
That's, you know, when I went looking for other drivers for a team that I wanted to put on, I didn't look into the IndyCar ranks. I went and I did some LMP1 and LMP2 racing when I did the 24 Hours of Daytona. And when I was sitting there driving, I'm like, this thing drives a lot like an IndyCar. And I'm thinking, you know, we're probably looking in the wrong circle of available drivers. We're only looking at IndyCar drivers. We're probably not extending, we're not making that net big enough. We're not casting a wide enough net. So I specifically when looking into the LMP1 and LMP2 ranks, seeing who might be interested in. And the great thing about them, even though they got some traction control and some of those things in the cars, and they do have push to pass, they do have roll bars, they do have that type of stuff already. Although what's really different is that they have a full cockpit over their head and they're sitting a little bit off to the left.
Right.
It's very much similar. They don't have the full. They have more of a moonroof, so to speak, and they're sitting in the middle. But in terms of the way the car is pretty much the same. And if you look at real racing, you don't really have to look too much further than the LMP team that Roger Penske had in place. I mean, who was drivers for the longest time? Evans, Juan Montoya. So you know, if it works in real life and it works in the sim, it should work here as well.
He did a lot more thinking about the team thing than I did. Let's just put it like that. But you know, it's interesting to talk about Jessica. You know, we mentioned during the interview, you might have heard before the race, she's one of 3 females in the series. The third, Kristen Nelson, not here tonight, unfortunately. So hopefully Kristen's doing okay. But we do have 2 of them here tonight, being Jessica Saban and Vilda Whalen. So as Jessica takes the 5th position right on cue, move her up. I think she's really going to like this track when it's over with.
AJ doing a great job on the road courses here. He's a bit of a, he's got the right name. He's got the right name. He's a bit of a NASCAR oval guy. A bit of a NASCAR oval savant, so to speak. What I've been told. But man, he's almost reached the spot level for this gentleman racing on the road courses. He'll be in the top 10 for most of the time.
Jeff Destino making a pit stop there. You see down at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, that's why we've been focused on this battle right here. These are 5 cars, all roughly within 2.5 seconds of each other for position. You got Saban here, who just took the spot away, and she's running away. You got Stravato, you got Danny Brennan, Ito Vila, Austin Sarr, and a cone on the track. And Vila Whalen all within 3.5 seconds of this fight right here. So these guys are definitely all within pace here and running with each other. Every one of these drivers all on the alternate red tires here as they come up to lap 20. Most of them running times around the 9s and 10s. So as I look down here at some of these prime tires, again, everybody is pretty much already swapped over out of those who are pitted. So like Luke Daniels is on the alternates now. Telder's been on. Yeah, most of these guys you're going to see start to pit as McDonald comes to pit road. Here comes second place in. Let's see if he goes to the Mick Primes or we stay on the Mick Alternates. That joke will never get me cold. And he goes Primes. So he goes to the Prime tires here at lap number 20. So I'm assuming a 20-20-20 strategy. Barbara Walters would be proud of that. As McDonald will come out of the pits in 4th. So they've put so much of a space between the top 5 that he's able to stay right in the top 10. Delta time.
Yeah, they are in a time zone.
The delta on this track, on pit road, is probably one of the, if not the shortest times that you will see on the circuit.
Yeah, it's an extremely compact pit road. It's one of the reasons why they don't, in real life, start the race on that main street. It's a straight, but it's not a very big straight for that matter. And if you look at the way that the number of cars that we have in the back lap traffic,
Isaac on pit road.
Lap traffic is not giving Saban any corner there whatsoever. But if you look at the number of drivers that we have in this pit road, just about every stall is full.
You might have saw on the screen pop up there that Austin Sarr had a little off-track issue. He has fallen back to the 10th position. Because of that, he is fell out of that battle. As here comes Stravato. Oh, Stravato! Oh, never mind. I thought he was off track. He just ran really tight to that wall. He's on pit road though. That scared me for a split second. And there's pit crew. And he switches over to the primes, and he will go. As that hands the lead to Lester. Lester in that really cool, almost like a chrome illusion, green, gray, silver, platinum thingy.
Yeah, but you can say about green.
Yeah, but technically it's not green. It's silver from far away, and then it turns green.
It's green enough. Any green's too much green.
What about cool green?
Team Cool Green? I don't know how they got away with it.
I was gonna say they were pretty successful.
I don't know how they got away with it.
You'd think I would pull that one out on you, huh?
Well, we're having in Team Velocity Online, Velocity Online Racing League, we're going to have a throwback race at Texas. What we're going to do is we're going to have the race that never was.
Yes.
The Indy cars went there and they ended up canceling the race. So what we're going to do is we have our race there. It's almost 20 years we're actually having our race there.
Oh, battle here. Not to cut you off, Gary. We're watching Vito Whalen pass Edu Vila in the Scrabble game. And for 7th.
Edu and Vila and...
That's for 7th here. This is all about...
Oh, we got a car off into the... spun off there into the... not the far...
One of the... I think that's Destino. In the Grublets on Ice car. Yep, it is Destino. I was trying to see how far back they were from the leaders, but for some reason my interval and gap are showing the same times here. That's kind of confusing. Usually it shows different on my screen.
Isaac Lopez down to his last push to pass.
Already?
Already.
As Dortero, Danny Brennan on pit road here. Now real quickly, I'll try to get this out real quick because I know I started to say it both times and you've gotten kind of antsy. I've actually got a couple of people as engineers for these drivers on my team. And the reason I did that was because, one, I think it's really cool to have that. I think it's like so cool. I would love to do it one day. But two, you know, these drivers I run aren't really the most experienced IndyCar drivers. Most of these guys I've gotten from other leagues that I broadcast for and was like, hey, let's try you out. And others have come to me and said, I want to run this. Okay. As VOR car off the track, or no, that's not a VOR. Who is that? Is that Dylan? Yep.
Yeah, and actually, the 3 LMP drivers that I've gotten to join my ranks, they're actually running the same way. They call them their spotter. But yeah, spotter and engineer, they can get into your menus, they can change the settings for you, and all you have to do is concentrate on driving. And that's a nice thing about having a spotter or some type of engineer that's riding along with you. They can get in there and just all you have to do is worry about turning left and right.
So let me ask this question. Is Lester stuck now to a one-stop strategy? Because, I mean, he's out of the two-stop window now. I mean, he would have pitted at lap 20.
Yeah,
what he does, do 30 here and then go 30 to the finish. Can he
Let's see. That's what I'm getting ready to say. Can he get to the 30 mark, and can he still have enough time to stay ahead of Morris? If he passes him here in the next 6 laps, forget it, it's over. But if he can maintain the lead and get out, and Morris just cut into him, he's under now 9 seconds.
The problem is, though, even if Isaac passes him, he can't switch now. He's kind of stuck in this hole, you almost think now.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's kind of like the one thing they say in life: if you jump, the only way to, oh gosh, of course now I forget the quote in my head, but when you're on a roller coaster that's going downhill, meaning something that's failing. Issue McDonald. McDonald's going off.
And Saban pits.
No damage on the 73, but McDonald has gone off. Let's see what happens here on the replay. The Scottish driver.
That might have been really lucky for Saban, that the fact that she was pitting. If she made that other turn, that one extra turn to go around the carousel, it would have been right there in his path. So that's probably a good thing that she's
See
doing.
here, he gets into the corner. You know what? That was very a lazy spin, but it wasn't a braking issue. It almost looks like maybe a shifting issue caused that spin. Maybe downshifting.
I have not seen IndyCars ever kind of do that. I've seen that obviously with the Cup car.
Well, wheel hopping type of thing, right?
But I have not seen an IndyCar do that. My only thing I can think
Lester
of
to
is
pit road, lap 25.
The only thing I possibly think of is that, okay, so he's not making the 30. The only thing I can possibly think of is that he might have had his brake bias a little bit too much wood.
So Lester comes to pit road here at lap 25. So that tells me that he is probably making another stop with 10 to go in this race, 10 to 15 to go.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You know, going long on the alternates, stays on the alternates for this stint, and pulls away. Vito Whalen on pit road. Edu Vila on pit road.
What was I going with that?
Well, you got the throwback paint. We were talking about some kind of paint scheme, I think.
Oh, yeah. They were going to do a throwback race for that. It's going to be pretty exciting when we see all these vintage parts. But I will also kind of throw in a wrench into it as well. If you run out of cartoons, IRL teams. Because IRL did run that year. They didn't cancel the
Nice. That'd be fun. So Edu on push to pass coming off of the keyhole here. Let's see.
You'll have your hands full trying to call that one.
I got names all around. I'm good. Like I can pick out names. The hardest part I have at the IndyCar is the numbers. So when I see like the same paint scheme, it's like, all right, what number is that one? You know. Elder coming to pit road back there in the 15th position, but Isaac Morris now back to the lead, 7 seconds. And we actually got a battle here for third, but that battle ends as quick as I say so as Austin Sarr comes to pit road. One of the last cars to pit at lap 27. As I mentioned, Morris now leads McDonald, Lester, Carlos, and Jessica Saban, your top 5. Been a very entertaining race. A lot of great passing out here, a lot of great racing, tons of incidents as we talked about, but you know what, only one car off the track, and that's David Whimsy back in 24th. So all 23 of the 24 cars are still on track, which is, I'm pretty sure some teams didn't expect that.
I was expecting this cars a little bit more attrition. But it's also indicative of the type of driver that we have. They're highly skilled, and a lot of there wasn't a first turn pileup. A lot of the things that you kind of see on road course races that have a lot of cars when they're trying to funnel down to that first turn to get the edge of the next guys. Bravo to all the guys and gals that are taking the green flag in this race. I mean, they're just doing fantastic.
And that's what makes IndyCar racing sometimes one of the best to watch, is when you see even the real life races, you get these cars that when all 25 will start and all 25 will finish. When you go to a racetrack like here, or even when you watch the race at Barber, you might see every car finish, because I mean there's plenty of room to race, and if you do spin out, you can get back out there, get the push out of the beach.
Car off wide.
It's Grabowski. Oh, and he's flipping front somersault and everything. I mean, it's not the tornado that we saw some cars doing this week in practice, but we learned this week that there's a glitch in iRacing where if you run a car with no damage, and you will spin on your top for minutes like a tornado.
tornado.
So let's, oh boy, we're going to need the judges for this one. What happened to the big Grabowski? That dude. He's coming out of pit road.
He's got blacks, so he's got the prime.
Onto the prime tires.
Might not have been.
Getting passed by a couple cars. Oh, he's going to get taken 3 wide. Maybe not. He gave him room. Oh, he just went too far off. Into the tires, and, well, that is one heck of a piece of asphalt. Let's go on board. We're going to go on board with this one. Yeah, close your eyes, Gary. You got a new car on inventory, buddy.
Yeah, well, and he had a teammate behind him, too, and I'm sure that he was kind of the corporate teammate behind him. So I'm sure he was concerned about that as well, and I don't blame him on what he's done. I'm sure that no one, so other people have done it before. I know I've done it before, and I won't be the only person never to done it either, so I feel bad for him.
Now,
So
I will say,
get the car towed back and get back underway here and make up some spots. We've still got a long race to go,
well,
and there's still lots of attrition that can
he
happen.
used his reset, I believe, already in an accident earlier.
That was Ashworth.
Oh, you were correct. Yep, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm getting it mixed up. Hey, let's continue this battle between the alphabet here. Vito Whalen, Ito Vila, Jessica Saban, alphabet soup battling for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Oh, one car spins. Is that Saban? Saban is spun over here in the carousel. Oh, watch out.
All right.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah, it's just making the pass around there was Ashworth instead of a teammate, so that survived there. Got Danny Brennan up ahead of him in that place. So that group right there is racing really hard.
Maybe that was her way to get out of it. Like, I don't want to be in this. Let's see what happened to the young lady out of UK. Goes through Thunder Valley here. She's got, trying to see who that is. I think it's one of the extreme cars there behind her. Might have been Fontaine, maybe. UVS is here. And once again, you know what? On those prime tires, goes in that corner, and the thing just comes around on her. Last week we noticed the theme of alternate tires at the casino turn at Sebring giving issues. Now we got the prime tires in this section right here of the carousel giving issues.
Yeah, and one of my drivers, Danny Brennan, was saying how he kind of felt a little sketch on the black. So the primes, they might be experiencing some kind of experience. So might be passing information down on the radio now that if you're on the primes, you can change the brake bias, so you're not leaning on those rear corners.
Now, of course, no wreck will compare to what happened last night in the truck race, where I think it's Patrick Thompson was the gentleman's name. Off the top of my head, the 88 truck was spun over in the turn 1 and 2 area of Rockingham. This was in the TI Racing Truck Series, and found a way to be about 100 feet in the air above the rock.
Yeah, that one actually to some extent. It was a driver with Black Cat decided to lay the chrome horn to him on that one, and made it a little bit too obvious, but really that driver made a very questionable move a lap before on the backstretch, trying to take my driver down to the apron going into turn 3 for no reason whatsoever. So he was throwing the block on, and that was a retaliatory strike back to the Black Cat crew. And I've already talked to my driver about that. We're all cool, but yeah, when you get into some of these races and some people start getting frustrated, when you throw a block on somebody that tries to put them down onto the apron and try to wreck them, you don't have to need to throw the block at all because we still have a long race. That's just, you kind of question someone's the way of thinking on that one.
Are you saying rule number 1 was violated?
Well, it's not my teammate. So, Patrick Thompson's not my teammate, but it was my team. One of the guys on my team.
Oh, I see.
Oh, we got a car off into
Ashworth.
And it's Ashworth, right about the same area before. But yeah, it's just questionable the way that he threw that block on. He didn't get loose off it too. He wasn't trying to pass the truck in front of him. He changed lanes to block, and there was no and the way the block was is he was forcing the driver down to the apron, and that's not.
And you can actually, if you want to watch that race, it is in the collection of races. My goal in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try to get all these races separated into series categories on YouTube. I have not had an opportunity to do that. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks, you'll see the Truck Series have its own playlist, the IndyCar Series have its whole playlist, because you can go all the way back to 1 year ago when we started right here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, where some guy was yapping his gums the whole entire time in my YouTube, or my, at the time, Twitch channel, I believe it was. And lo and behold, he's here with me now.
That person knows absolutely nothing.
He offered it up and said, hey, get in here. You're going to make me look smarter. So this battle continues on. We got two battles now. Danny Brennan, who had some blinking issues a second ago, he's battling with Ashworth, and you got Ido Vila battling with Vito Whalen here. All for position. And somebody's nailed the wall over here on the inside of Thunder Valley. It's Destino, actually. Destino not having a good night. And seeing a post actually from David Whimsy, a very classy post on his end, talking about made a bonehead move and a horrible re-entry. Just didn't want to take anybody out and that kind of thing, so he feels terrible about it. So cool move on his part here to say, did Isaac have issue? Isaac's off the track. Over in...
Easy. Oh.
He's going to lose the lead because of it. Over in the carousel here, he goes off.
Another car off into the carousel.
Don't know who that is. It's a blue car. It's Philip Lee. It is Philip Lee.
So I heard some radio traffic. I guess AJ was not happy with, I might have been Destino for some reason. So there was a little bit of chattiness on the radio there between corporate teammates. See that. But, okay, so it looks like Isaac is back underway here, and he's recovered. And I suspect Isaac's probably going to run back down here. Oh, look how he drives so deep into that.
Yeah, wow. Isaac goes past the lap car there as Destino's sitting there in the... Oh, Isaac gets loose going into that left-hander there and just loops it around. Wow, he got on the brakes. That thing bobbled on him.
And he's on the primes, right?
He is.
So that's another situation of the primes.
But this wasn't in the carousel. This is the corner before the carousel where that happened.
Yeah, it was getting close to the carousel.
Looks like Telder's had issues right here in the carousel, right in front of the leaders.
Oh!
He gets out of the way.
Oh, wow, that's a good job on his part.
And now you got a car coming out of pit road in front of these guys.
That might be Destino. Yeah, that's Destino.
And then Isaac goes right back to the lead.
Yeah.
And now he's driving angry, which this is where we get the best of Isaac sometimes, and I hate to say it, the worst of Isaac sometimes.
Well, and adrenaline makes so a little bit of that.
Oh, McDonald blinks, and it goes back by Isaac.
Oh, wow.
Without using push to pass, though, by the way. He hasn't touched him.
He still has a full bag, so to speak, of push to pass to go.
You wonder
Isaac's
if anybody
has
anybody told him he has him?
Well, AJ back in the 7th also has 10, so he's ready to mount an attack here in the last half of the race.
So all the battles have pretty much settled down except for Stravano and Sabin here. Sabin's on push to pass. Down the straightaway here to China Beach, which nobody's went swimming today. Apparently there's riptides in effect. Sabin all over the gearbox.
Yes, she was. She was. And now she's in a part of the track that really no place to pass.
This is, we had a big moment here last season. We
almost
had it again!
The same area. Oh my goodness. It's the cursed center corner.
She's in the 28, by the way.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Is AJ in the 66?
No, but half that, the 33.
Oh, wow. Talk about coincidences. Wow.
Oh, that would have been. I didn't know. I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be like, oh my gosh, lightning struck twice. I mean, only Lee Trevino knows about being struck twice or 7 times.
Well, Jessica's going to get her breath back here, get back under power, get her mark. Back. She has Sar right behind her. That is her position.
Daniel McDonald's having some blinking issues here as he starts to pull away from Isaac, believe it or not here. Did Isaac hurt his car somehow, maybe? I mean, I don't think he went off in a spot to hurt the floor, could he have?
It's possible, but doubtful. The only way to figure out is next to change tires. It'll automatically fix it.
Yeah, how are we going to know? Was it going to pop the floor out? You know. Fontaine's on pit road here, 23 to go. I see Jim Herrick watching, of course. Krista's okay. Had a previous engagement, and Cohen's at IUPUI, or as some people know it as Ooey Pooey.
Jaguar saving spinning. So that moves Sar and Ashworth and Brennan all up the spot there.
This is here at lap 35. So I'm assuming these guys are going the rest of the way on fuel.
Yeah. I can't tell. But
Who's that you're looking at?
oh, she's on. Okay, so she's on the alts.
Yeah,
Let's
Vilda's
see.
on the alternates. Edu still on the alternates also. But McDonald, 0.6 of a second right now over Isaac Lester. About 10 seconds back right now in the 3rd position. Dotero in 4th. And as I mentioned, Edo in 5th.
This battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th is getting pretty tight.
Seems to be the one battle we've had all night is those positions.
Yeah. Yeah, Sar back to Brennan.
Yeah,
Actually,
7th.
Stravino back to Brennan.
So this is 6th, 7th, 8th, and Ashworth is on pit road here.
Yep. Brand new sponsorship, GM. GM is actually throwing real money at the league.
GM
General
Accessories.
Motors.
That's
yeah. Of course, they run for one real this weekend at Martinsville. It's going to be serious about right?
Isaac Morris on pit road.
So I get to see team orders. From a certain team owner to a certain pair of team drivers. Calm down.
Oh boy. Do I want to know where that's at?
Positions 1 and positions 2.
As Isaac pits out of the way with 8.6 second lap.
So Morris does have the purple lap still at 107.924. So he's probably going to be looking here at light tanks and probably all tires this time around. I don't know what he's been on the last 2 stints. Let me check. No, he's already switched back to the alt. So he's probably looking at doing some to get that fast lap even faster.
And you see the Toro just lost the spot to Morris, so move Morris up to the 3rd position.
9 cars left on the lead lap here.
So will McDonald, he goes another lap here, so now you're definitely seeing these guys on different strategies from the team. Wonder if this was planned or not. Travato under attack from Austin Czar in the 20, back here for 6th, as you mentioned. There's only one flag you really want to obey, and it's blue.
Yeah. Now these leaders are coming quick. I mean, the fastest guy on the track and the slowest guy on the track is pretty big, and when you're not paying attention, you're not watching the differential relative. if you're not watching that, keeping an eye on it. And granted, you're doing a bunch of other things when you're driving an Indy car. You're controlling the brake bias, you're controlling the engine map, you've got control of the roll bars. Last thing I kind of want to do is look down and look at that relative. If you're not paying attention, one of the leaders comes up on you. It might not be the wrong time. You definitely want to plan ahead when you're looking at that relative. Have that up all the time.
And I think, well, that's one thing, but the other thing you can also do with help of the relative, you can have, there's so many apps out there. The Crew Chief app is one. If you have somebody actually talking to your ear, you know, I know one thing for sure. When I get a blue flag, I use that app, and when I get a blue flag, it'll say to you, "Hey, oh!" And Austin spins out. Saw her goosed it over that hill there and just lost it, which is very easy to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he's on the reds, and the car gets really light right there, and that's a couple of things happen depending on what engine map you're on, and the car gets really light right about there. That's kind of what happens.
Yeah, not to mention your second gear probably there, so obviously the gearing will just easily spin the tires in that kind of point. As here comes McDonald to pit road, the leader's in.
So now we're going to see how far. I don't think he can do it. We'll see. If he does, he's going to make mileage on par with Rossi.
Now let's see where Isaac comes out here. Isaac just ran a 777 wet purple.
Yep, 107.769.
And got ahead of McDonald. He cut him.
Yep, that's to be expected when you think about light tanks and the alternate tires when you think you're flying.
Now McDonald's got to get the alternates up to speed here.
Yep. He went purple in sector 3, so yeah, he really was hard on that one.
Tim Miller, haven't said his name all night as he slides to his pit stall and backs up all the way, and I think he's still shy of his pit stall. Pull up, Tim.
Yeah, these are tiny stalls.
Pull up, Tim.
Yeah, if you...
oh, never mind. I guess he's in his stall.
If you overshoot, it doesn't take much to overshoot.
Stravato on pit road here. Cohen apparently driving in an iRacing College League 4, representing IUPUI. That's cool.
Oh, that's the CIL, the collegiate, or the CRL, the collegiate iRacing league.
That's cool.
And actually, I participated in that a little bit. They have.
And when are you in college?
Well, you know, it was a long time ago. They still had school back then. We used these really cool things called paper and pen. So they have a it's a real cool league. You should check it out, folks. Your sponsor is your school, and there's someone already there in your school participating. Well, they become your teammate, so to speak. But they have a GT league. They do runs in, and then they also have an oval league, which is cup cars, which I did a couple of races in. But it started interfering with a couple of things, so I had to kind of drop it for a while. But it was a little kidding concept, and
Interesting.
I had a really cool car that was dressed up in my school colors, and it looked like it was wearing a basketball jersey. Yeah, there's a car off into the keyhole again. I'm not sure what that was. It looked like my car was wearing a jersey. So that was
Nice. And what school is it?
It's the Sycamores of Indiana State.
Ah. Terre Haute, Indiana.
Home of the action track. One of the tracks is not in the game that needs to be there.
Oh, yes. Good call. We were actually discussing, me and a couple of guys were discussing tracks that need to be on iRacing recently, and we were naming them off left and right. Somebody asked me the question, I don't think it was you, but maybe it was, asked me, what road course is the course that needs to be on iRacing?
Portland, yeah.
Yeah, you said Portland, and then somebody brought up Monaco, and I'm like, that's common sense.
Yeah.
Portland is a good answer, too.
Another one that you'll hear your IndyCar folks talk about a lot.
Yeah, that's the one I suggested, Burke Lakefront.
And the great thing is that's there now. They can go do that now if they want to.
But another one that came to my mind, too, is Toronto.
Yes. Toronto,
Vancouver, yeah. That's a good question for viewers watching right now. I got 17. What track do you want to see iRacing do next? It could be any. I mean, we've talked about ovals, obviously Hickory. The stadium. Oh my gosh, how'd that slip my mind?
Instant Salem.
Yeah, you got the town right. How did I forget the name of this? It slipped my head for a second here. But Salem, out in Indiana, you got so many. Winchester.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Ito Vila on pit road.
Yeah, not just if it's not around anymore, like Ontario or Trenton or Disney or Nazareth. So, you know, even Texas World Speedway. That would,
Yes.
I mean, some of those tracks that don't exist anymore. Go ahead and put them down there because really, iRacing themselves, they did it to themselves, and I think they kind of helped. They opened up we got a
One
car
car's
off
going
into the
soaring.
Whoa.
That's.
Yeah, they kind of.
I won't mention what team that guy drives for.
They kind of opened up Pandora's box when they started bringing in the iRacing Super Speedway, and now they're like, well, we don't do fictional tracks. We only scan real tracks. Well, now you kind of open up Pandora's box. That what is stopping you from making Ontario? Really? I mean, it's just a rescan of Indianapolis, add some more scenery, that type of thing. What's stopping you from bringing Texas World Speedway? It's basically just more banking. So there's really nothing stopping them on these things other than maybe some licensing fees and themselves.
Right. So Isaac is starting to stretch it out a little bit. He just ran purple again. Daniel ran a 0780. Isaac ran a 0753. That was, by the way, Sam Fontaine that went shortcutting through the carousel. Not the first time he's done it. He did it in practice too, and I said something about it. Oh, somebody spun around. Is that Rizal again? Yeah, it's Rizal in the 13 car. He's not having a good night. Now, if going back to the college, if I had to race for the college I went to, I don't know how it would work. My college didn't exist anymore. And I'm still paying loans. The old Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. The Art Institute schools, I believe, closed a couple years ago.
That was weird. I was watching Lester. He's currently in the lead, and all of a sudden one of his front wings fell off and then it popped back into place.
Oh, I love that. Carlos Gutierrez on pit road. JT watching over on the stream said Winchester, and then of course Jim Herrick agrees with me. Cleveland, Burke Lakefront. Got to get her on there.
Yeah, Winchester, arguably the world's fastest half-mile oval. I think actually Crystal has that one, but Winchester is an awesome track. Salem, another one you mentioned.
Yep. Elko, I think would be cool up in Minnesota. Another short track.
Indiana State Fairgrounds. It's home of the night before the 500 traditional race.
Yes.
That's the history of that track.
Oh, Danny Brennan with issues. He's jumped to the pits. Tried to cut you off there. He had to use the reset, I believe. Something happened here. Let's see. Oh.
He's back away.
It's a little loosey-goosey over in the carousel. Wonder why he jumped to the pits. Oh, he comes to pit road.
Yeah, he's dropping 10th now.
Did he miss a pit stall as Lester's in? Oh, something happened and he blinked into his pit stall. That's a weird situation.
Oh, he might have.
And of course, you know what happens when one of my friends who are stock car drivers show up in the chat. You get comments like this. These NASCARs look funny.
Another track to talk about that they have half the facility the road course at Lucas Oil.
Ah, yeah. Which was ran back in the day with Indy cars.
Yeah, it was the original home of the IndyCar Grand Prix.
Yep, Jim says the fairgrounds, yep. So looking on board here, some of these are not on board, but looking at some of these cars here, you know, we're starting to get the battle here. Jessica Saban starting to come back on the back of Ito Vila here. We haven't had a chance to throw the throwback cam on, so let's do that. I know in the rule book it said for this season specifically that you had to run alternate. It was the same last season.
Yeah, you had to run. You started on what you qualified on, right? And then you had to switch to the other compound at some point during the race. And if you didn't, that was a right now, less keyless stops. I'm showing him at same. So I'm showing him at alt on his 3 stops. So I don't know, maybe when those stopped early, he's going to set then, and he needs to stop again. But I do not show him as changing.
Ooh, Austin Sars had big issues, big nose problem on Austin. What happened to the 20? Oh, that looked weird. Okay. I'm gonna have to check what kind of energy bars or something are being served in my team shop, apparently, or something. Watch that again.
Imagine if iRacing understand the track that he did at the parking lot.
Say that again. We're having a hard time hearing you, Gary. Just a little louder. Sorry, bud.
No, the standing in the parking lot at the casino in Vegas, the one they use for the track there.
Oh. And of course, you got the new Nashville track that's coming with the road course later this season.
Right, and actually, we're supposed to be getting the NASCAR the Nashville Super in a later build this year. So I'm excited for that because that is an IndyCar track.
It is an old IndyCar track back in the day, yeah. Because we have 9 laps to go, by the way. And everybody has made their second pit stop here, so we're pretty much on the way to the finish here. And how about this guy who is quietly... Oh, Lester spun over here in turn 11, turn 12. Did he beat you? He might be high-sided here. He is. Oh, no.
No. Oh, and he's...
Now he's blinking, too.
He's blinking.
The double whammy. He's blinking
and now
on the beach.
He's towing. That is... And you know what? And the awful thing about that is you can see your pit stall from where you got beached, and you still have to wait the 2.5 minutes to get towed. Cheers, but that's awful.
That's, yeah, unfortunate break there.
Dan Marrera had to drop out. Looks like he had some sort of bandwidth issue. Now he's back. Hate seeing that.
Now look at, and I was starting to say, because of that, look who's third. Carlos Dotero. He's just quietly just ran up in the top 5 all night.
Yeah.
We haven't said his name. Yeah, Vita Whalen and Vita, yeah, go ahead.
After starting where she started to be back up in the 4th.
Yeah, Vita,
that is an awesome run. That's your even though we don't have that sponsor anymore, that's definitely one of your spicy takes right there.
Yeah, it's not coming back from a lap 1 accident when it's all over with here. That's a good call on
yeah.
that. As we have 8 laps to go already.
I want to give a shout to one of my other guys too. Lester almost again fun. Nick Fleury in P11 had a very quiet and consistent race. He's been in the top 15 all night long, moving up very slowly on the verge of a top 10. He almost had a top 10 last week and hit one of his first IndyCar road course race. And Lester's around again.
Well, Lester's going to be waving a white flag here in a second. But you
Yeah,
know what? He's on the
China
prime
Beach.
tires. That's the thing here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... Yeah, well, and he's blinking. I don't know if these tires shouldn't be spent on him already. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe just not coming up to temperature as fast as he likes.
So looking at this, we have down to 7 cars on the lead lap here with Ashworth, the last one.
Yeah, have Vila up 5, Saban up 5, Brennan up 4, Fleury now up 5, Miller up 8, Fontaine up 6, Lopez up 10, Perez up 6. We got some guys that have clawed and scratched their way.
Don't look now. Somebody's coming. McDonald just went purple with a 7:42. The last lap, he was a whole second faster than Isaac Morse. And he's starting to use the push to passes.
Yep, and he's got still 5 of them left. 6 laps to go. He's on one right now as he's coming down to turn 3. 107.423 last time by. Purples in sectors 1 and 4.
We ride with McDonald.
When he can see Isaac.
That brings it. Oh, did Carlos have an issue? Carlos off the track over here at the carousel. Once again, the broadcaster jinx strikes. Vito Whalen's going to move to 3rd. Ito Vila to 4th. Bob Vila to 5th. I'm just kidding. I was waiting to put that in there somewhere.
Wasn't Edu the name of one of the planets in Road 1? I think it was.
You got me thinking.
Yeah, it was. That's where they had the facility that they attacked.
McDonald comes back and runs a 39. He was a 10th, not even a 10th, a 1,000th quicker that time by than his last lap.
107.394.
They're digging now. He is just rolling through the push to passes right now.
And that is a 118.163 miles per hour on this tiny little course. We got another car off in Thunder Valley, looks like. Can't see who it is.
It might be Lester. Is it Lester or Andres? Because I got them off track right now.
Not Lester.
I see you're talking about. It's over there, stage right.
Oh, wow. Lester's already down to P17. He's having issues.
The lead is down to 3.5. He's gaining a second a lap right now on Isaac.
There's still time. There is still time.
There is a lap car in between. And I think it is Lester, actually.
It is Lester, yeah.
Ooh. McDonald's short tracking that thing through the corners. You know, by that, he's turning it all kinds of sideways. That time by a 7:53, Isaac at 8:30. That's 0.8 of a second.
They're both on the same compound tire, too. This was straight.
I wonder if Daniel kind of backed off and said, you can use your tires up, Isaac. I'm coming back later. Push to pass with a little draft. And Lester gets out of the way. Perfect move.
Gets out of the way. Good. Okay.
Down to 2.5 seconds.
Coming down to S's.
I wonder if Mr. Lewis is warning, hey, Isaac, he's coming. Because you know Isaac's probably looking in the mirror or seeing his relative like, uh-oh. I hadn't got to use this all season, so let's use it now. Let's bring up the old lap time.
We got 2 cars now in front of Isaac in terms of lap time.
4/10 faster that time by.
Oh, he's going to cut these big time into it as he goes into the keyhole. Okay.
Down to 2.5.
Gets out of Isaac's way there. That was nice. Turn 3.
Now, traditional racing, the second place car usually has the easier way through the lap cars, normally. Usually those cars will fight the leader to stay on the lead lap. Now, in this case, obviously, 3 laps to go. You would hope they get out of the way of both of them.
A lot of clag building up on the out of the grid.
What was that, David Holmes?
A lot of clag. All right, so we got Isaac coming up to Ashworth.
Which he's on the lead lap. And Dortero's lost 2 spots. Lost position to Saban and Ito Vila. So now Dortero back to the 6th spot. So unfortunately a podium out the window for him. Last time by.
Oh, and they are not piling up, but they're just kind of stacking up All on Isaac right now.
Saban up to fourth past Vila, right in front of here as they go down to China Beach. One car sends it in there on Vila and sends her off the track. I believe that was the 48 of Destino.
Wow.
And I could be wrong, just checking, but that car's damaged. Who is it? The 93. That's Ito Vila with the damage. Oh no, it was Dortero. I'm sorry. Sorry to Destino. Carlos Dortero sent it in there and got into Edu, and it's going to cost them both a top 10. Let's go back.
Check out female power right now.
Do not. Oh man, he sent it in there. And there's your first two victims of China Beach. That was a desperation move right there.
And we missed the pass for the lead.
What happened to Isaac?
I don't know.
Well, the good news is okay. Well, the good news, I find it here. Let's see what just happened here. Yeah, we're on the final lap, and Isaac spun. That's what happened. In turn 5, Isaac spun around.
Oh, Isaac getting loose in the China Beach area, coming down the Thunder Valley.
Once
He's trying to
again,
get it back.
Isaac Morris is, I don't want to say thrown another race away, but this is what it's looking like.
Here goes McDonald into the carousel. This is it.
Yeah, we're going to have a first-time winner tonight in race number 2 of the season. Daniel McDonald, TI Racing, wins his first career TI Racing event in Mid-Ohio in a stunner.
Wow. Talk about, well, I'm pretty much going to see this track on next season's schedule.
I mean, I hate to say this because we've said it so many times. Isaac just beat himself. I mean, I hate to put that out there like that, but we have to call it like we see it. But let's go back and this is, I'm going to pause it for a quick second here so we can set it up. But Isaac is right here, spinning off of turn 5, out of the China Beach area. Comes up to and just gooses it.
Here comes
And then there goes
Vilda.
Daniel.
Here comes Vilda. Here's your drive of the race right here. She's right into the carousel, coming down to the last kink here right before the main straight, taking the checkered flag. There is a podium finish. There's a podium finish for someone that really had a crap day start off with.
You know what? I'm being corrected. I think apparently McDonald won a race back in season 2. Let me go back and look. I apologize if I got that wrong. I'm not perfect. Get off my screen. But either way, McDonald gets to win.
Wow, I mean, there's some great drives of the races here. I'm looking at the top 10. Ashworth made a great comeback. Vilda made an awesome comeback after
Saban came back after a spin.
Saban came back after a spin. Brennan came back after doing a little extended pit time. These guys in the top 10. Fleury finishes in the top 10. These folks, what a run.
McDonald with an old school type of pit road, just comes to pit road here. Season 2, no, he didn't win there. I'm just going through all the standings real quick. Oh, you know what? He did when he won on the Roval. So this is his second career win. So my apologies, got that wrong.
The ladies are doing burnouts after the keyhole.
No, that's cool.
That's good job, gals. I like that. That's awesome.
But, yeah, Daniel McDonald scores his second career win. So my apologies to Daniel when that's all over with. Usually I have all the research and stuff, but sometimes I miss one or two things. We all do. Yeah, either way, man, what a race. Again, Mid-Ohio living up to it here on iRacing. As we'll take a look at the finishing order for this Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. McDonald with the last lap steal on Isaac Morris, who goes off track over in turn 5. Vita Whalen finishes 3rd. Jessica Saban 4th. Second straight top 5 for Jessica. William Ashworth finishing 5th in his debut tonight. Good comeback for him. Danny Brennan, comeback for him, 6th. AJ Stravano 7th, Ito Vila 8th, Carlos Dortero. I'm sure there's going to be a little conversation between them two here, 8th and 9th. Nick Fleury comes back for a 10th. Nick Fleury,
Awesome.
that is. Tim Miller 11th, Sam Fontaine 12th, Luke Daniels 13th, Lopez 14th, Philip Lee 15th, Lester 16th, Austin Saar finishing in the 17th position, unfortunately, there. 18th, Andres Perez. Dylan Reisel finishing 19th. 20th, Matthew Telder. Dan Marrero 21st. Jeff Destino 22nd. Grabowski 23rd. Whimsy going to finish 24th. And Gary Gonzo 26th. He didn't really run the race. He's with me. Good job, Gary.
So I had a chance.
60 laps down at 26.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's go get everything set up here as we will go talk to our winner tonight. I'm listening right now, and my phone is way behind. It's at the part right now where Isaac just spun. So I'm listening to myself on the stream. I just heard you say, "What happened to Isaac?" And all right, let's get our winner up here into victory circle here, and if he's here, there he is. He's down here. Isaac and Chris are ready to come up and talk, but no, they left the winner down there all by himself. That's not too nice. Daniel McDonald comes in, and I thought it was your first career win. Sorry, my bad. Second career win after your win at Charlotte back in Season 1. You come back here tonight, and you steal one from the teammate at Mid-Ohio.
Oh, it was great. I loved that race. I had a spin myself, but I managed to get back there, and then I don't know if you caught it, but there's a lap car that came over the track as I was trying to go past it. It put me off the track. I lost some seconds to Isaac, but I saved all my push to passes. I had a tactic, and I guess I put him a bit under pressure.
We noticed that you saved them all to the end, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and talk about that a little bit, because it seemed like you kind of he pitted a lap or two earlier, and then you pitted, and then you kind of let him kind of go away from you. Were you just kind of laying back, saving the tires to make that run for him?
Yeah, I was saving the tires a bit. I didn't expect to come out that far behind him, though. I thought it was going to be a bit closer. But then, obviously, the incident with the lap car lost me like 4 or 5 seconds. I was 6 seconds behind him. I just nailed the push to pass it down the straight. It was good. I put my all into it.
Well, you did a fantastic job tonight running up there with Isaac, and especially at the beginning of the race, you guys battled it out there. But you come back, and it seemed like everybody at one point tonight had an off track, including myself. And I wasn't even in the race. Figured that one out. But either way, a great job tonight, and a great second career win. And I believe that probably because you finished in the top 3 last week, so you and Isaac are right there neck and neck in points. So a great start for the team.
Yeah, it's an amazing start for the team, especially. I thought at the start of the race it was going to be a bit just like Hamilton and Rosberg a bit. He went for a move around the outside. I tried to leave him some space. I might have squeezed him a little bit. I thought this race is going to be carnage between us, but we managed to sort it out, and I'm just happy. We've got some great points for the team today.
Well, you mentioned Hamilton and Rosberg. Let's hope you guys don't wreck each other like the couple times we saw that happen down the road. So, but great effort out there tonight, and send shout out to whoever you like to. Hey, it happened. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm sure we'll try our best not to make that happen and obviously upset everybody. But I just want to give a shout out to iRacing and Chris Lewis for just bringing me in again. I didn't expect to be racing this series until a week before. Especially another shout out to General Motors as well. I'm so happy to be back. It's paid off a bit for me, so I'm happy. I'm hoping to be a contender for the rest of the season.
Well, great job, Daniel. Congratulations on the win tonight, and go celebrate. You're back in victory lane, and go celebrate with the team there, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Daniel McDonald winning this race tonight. Let's get Isaac up here, who's probably pretty angry right now, and the man had to drive one-handed pretty much throughout this race and fought. And got an honestly obvious question, Isaac. Was it just a mistake on your part? Did the wrist play a role? What happened there in that final lap?
So I spun on lap 34 or something. It was like not long after I pitted for their primary tires. You know, their I think it was just like a mixture of like lapped cars letting us past in like really stupid places, because like as soon as like the Indy car gets into it, yeah, like as soon as all the aerodynamic grip goes, it's all mechanical, so you absolutely ruin the tires through the faster sections. And especially when you're like right behind a car that can't decide where he wants to go when you know, the leader's lapping him. You know, like it just kills the tires, and unfortunately it caught me out in their one of the last corners. And then on the last lap it was the same thing. At one point there was so many cars ahead to me. I think there's like 4 or 5 cars ahead of me.
Hmm.
And like there was a massive wreck, and you know, in my mind, like I could see Dan like right behind me. You know, he was like 2.5 seconds behind me, and like the one thing I was telling myself, like the only thing that will make him pass me now is if I make a mistake. And I was doing the same like lap after lap, and you know, I did 20 something laps on the reds in the beginning, and I did 20 laps again on the reds at the end. So technically the red should have been better, but you know, just a mixture of worn tires and you know, not being able to control the car properly at the end. That's what caused the mistake. It could have been worse. You know, I could have absolutely binned it in the wall, and you know, that could have been race over or something. But yeah.
Well, it's a tough situation to see happen tonight, and at least you come back. As you mentioned, could have been a lot worse. You get a second-place finish this evening in this race. But I guess the other side of it, the positive here, is it's your teammate that won the race. So at least team-wise, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm happy that Dan's won the race. You know, it's always good to see more than one TI car on the podium. You know, and you know, we've got a great team behind us. You know, we've got AJ and Dan Morera in the team as well, and they're doing a great job as it is. AJ's just got the car like a couple of days before Sebring, so for him to be at the pace he's at now is quite astonishing. And yeah, working with all these guys is really good, and I'm really happy to be on TI, working with a bunch of great drivers.
We did a great job, man. Feel bad that you finished second, and unfortunately on the wrong end of the stick there after that spin, but still a great run, a great second place finish tonight. And you got plenty of racing to go throughout the season next week, Long Beach, and send shout outs to whoever you'd like to.
So I'd like to give a big shout out to Chris and TI. Chris does a great job with the team, and you know, preparing us for all the races and making sure that we're all in the right mindset for the race. And you know, it's just great to have a good team boss as well that is always supporting us. I'd like to give a big shout out to General Motors, our sponsor for this season. You know, it's really good to have the TI cars 1, 2, and be under the General Motor name. It just really looks good for us, and you know, looks good for the sponsors as well, keeping them happy. So yeah, just a shout out to them. I'd like to give a shout out to my sweaty t-shirt right now as well. It's like 50, it's like 50 degrees in my room right now, and yeah, I'm gonna go take a cold shower.
50 degrees Celsius. That's pretty warm.
Yeah, it's like I got my graphics card right next to me, so I'm just getting hot air blown in my face as I'm driving. So
Might want to talk to your team owner about getting you a fan or something.
Oh, I've got a fan, but all you'd hear is just like.
Well, from the solar atmosphere, here's Isaac Morris. Well, great job tonight, man. Congrats on your second place run, and we'll see you next week, bud.
Hey, thank you guys.
Absolutely is. Well, I looked around for the young lady who finished third, and she's not here tonight in Discord, I should say. So I was looking forward to maybe talking to Vida after a top 3 run, but we'll talk to the boss man while he's here tonight, Mr. Lewis. 2 races in, and it's been some fantastic racing so far in this series.
It's been pretty fun. I don't have much hair left, especially after lap 1 or so. I pulled it all out.
Welcome to my club.
I don't know if Gary told you, but we had to call some team orders throughout this race.
He says something, and I'm like, where is he hearing this stuff? I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's you might have yourself it was mentioned a Hamilton-Rosberg situation on your hands here.
I thought for a couple laps it was going to be that. I had it at the start, and kind of towards the end it was the same thing. And, you know, it's great to have that because you love to see your 2 best guys going at it, but at the same time, one little mistake, and now you have no one. So...
Well, congrats, man. Nice job on that. And 2 great races. We'll go to Long Beach and see if we can make it 3 for 3 on the fantastic racing. Good start to season 5 here, and let's roll.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
No sweat. So Chris Lewis there joining us. He's the owner of TI Racing, the team and the league, joining us this evening. But Gary, last words before we head to the West Coast and go hang out on the beach.
Oh, a little Queen Mary time and whatnot.
What?
Great, little great race here. I see why we scheduled again for the 2nd consecutive season. It does have the drama. It followed up in its predecessor's shoes fairly well. I'm probably going to see this track on next season's schedule again, if I have to say. Some great recovery drives by Wallen, Ashworth, Brennan. All of them had some issue during the race where they had to recover. Some very quiet drives in the middle. Fleury, Miller, Fontaine. Those guys just kind of stayed persistent and got themselves good, solid top 15 finishes. Mm-hmm. TI has obviously a nice points lead, but he don't look too far behind. And my guys there with Kamagoya, they're right there in P2. So I'm real excited about that. So we got a points championship going into the next race. We got a good points battle going on for the drivers championship in the next race. And if you remember last year, Long Beach was also a drama-filled race. So I'm hoping that we see that again. And then after that, we go off to the ovals. Old Gary's going to be involved.
That ought to be interesting. Yeah, I was going to say we were going to do a little update to let you team. We can now that we're done with the race. You know, again, we don't want to. We're not making this about like my team or his team or anything like that. But I figure we could have a little fun with this at the end of the broadcast, and we'll let you talk about your team here in a second, and I'll update how mine did. But let me just throw a picture into your mind right now. You're likely going to see 27 to 30 cars on lap 1 going into a 35-mile-an-hour corner.
Yeah, it's
next week.
Long Beach is not nearly as forgiving as these last 2 tracks we've been on. We're going to concrete jungles where if you go off course once, you are done. It might be a wise tactic next week that if someone wants to start from the pits, and we've seen that happen before, that it might not be a bad tactic to use.
Either that or just have like your whole entire team go down that long back straightaway and just pull over and stop.
Just
let them all go and then go. So
it's like letting go. It's like letting go of the rope at the tug of war. You win.
You win. So either way, man, nice job. Update. How'd your team do tonight?
Awesome in my opinion. We had Saban in 4th, Ashworth 5th, Brennan in 6th, and Fleury in 10th. And even though those team members crossed, kind of 2 teams. The Kamagoya team finished all of their drivers in the top 10, and we had our one of 2 drivers with Black Cat finish in the top 10. So not a bad night for my guys whatsoever.
Yep, there you go. And see, we still got some work to do on our end on the extreme side. Still working on that first top 10 for the team, but you know what? I'm proud of the guys for the hard work. Fontaine was 12th, Daniel's 13th, Austin Saar. I got to figure out what happened. 17th. He went straight at the keyhole, and I'm like, that looked interesting. And,
yeah, I gave Fontaine a shout out. I thought.
Yeah, I saw. I heard that. Teller 21st. So got some work to do, but we'll see. We'll keep fighting. So I'm gonna go talk to them right now. They're down there reviewing video and stuff, and I'm scared to know what else is going on down there, but we'll see. But anyways, man, final thoughts on the race before we move on.
Awesome. It was another exciting race. I've never been a big fan of Mid-Ohio, and these last 2 seasons races have kind of changed my opinion about that a lot. I don't know if just, you got to have the right drivers in the race, or you just got to you have to have the right camera in the right place, or whatever. I don't know. These last 2 races that we've had at Mid-Ohio have been extremely, extremely excited, and I'm glad I've been here to be part of it.
If Gary Godso's head admin, is Mid-Ohio on the schedule every season?
I don't know about that, but we'll see it definitely helping out next season.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there at you. Well, anyways, Gary, appreciate your time, buddy. Good luck, and we'll talk soon. And we'll go to Long Beach from there. Appreciate everybody's efforts. Appreciate iRacing for giving us this fun platform to put this on. Appreciate TI Racing and Chris Lewis for allowing us to be a part of the broadcast. And as always, thank you very much, fans. And we're out. So remember, it's just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
And now the wait is over. The nerves have taken their toll. Ooh. Let go of fear you're holding. The fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know I'm in for a white knuckle ride. Get strong. Get strong.